You've come back to Bellewood. The lanterns are lit, and the fire's glow spills across the tavern floor. Sit closer now. Let the hearth tell you a story.
There you are. I was hoping you'd come back. There's something about a fire, isn't there? The way it draws us close and slows the hours. Even the wind outside quiets down when it sees a hearth alight. You found your way to Bellewood again, and that's no small thing. People say it's just a village, tucked between the sea and the ridge, with nothing but old roads and older stories. But they're wrong. Bellewood isn't a place you find on a map. It's a place that finds you. It appears when you need it most, though you may not know why at first. Perhaps your heart's grown a little too quiet. Perhaps something once tender has gone threadbare. Or perhaps you're just longing for something true, something that lingers. Here, time moves differently. We mend things with our hands. We listen when others speak. And when the fire glows just right and the night settles close, stories come, not loud ones, not perfect ones, but stories where two souls find each other and something in the world shifts. Because Bellewood has always been a place of healing, not just from sickness, but from silence, from sorrow, from forgetting how it feels to be looked at as though you matter. Now, some say Bellewood is magic. Others say it's haunted. I say it remembers. And tonight, it remembers a love that unfolded like the last bloom of fall. Quiet, bright, and entirely unexpected. So settle in. The hearth is warm. Your tea's still steeping. And I have a tale to tell you. There are stories in Bellewood of things that ought not bloom in the cold. Of gardens that remember their keepers. Of flowers that open not for sun or rain, but for love that lingers still. In the apothecary's garden behind a crooked wooden gate, there stands an old rose bush. It blooms every winter, though no hand tends it, and no root should survive the frost. Some say it was planted by a woman who gave her heart away and vanished. Others whisper the bloom is a promise kept across time. But let me tell you the story as it was told to me, the story of Clara and the rose. The Bellewood apothecary sat at the edge of the green, its red-clapboard walls faded with age, its sign swinging gently in the cold wind. Behind it, a narrow gate led to the herb garden, where rosemary and lavender slept beneath snow. And there, defying frost and reason, bloomed a single, deep crimson rose. Children would sneak peeks through the garden gate, eyes wide with wonder. "It's a ghost flower," they whispered. "It's a rose." But no one tended the garden anymore, not since Mistress Althea vanished 20 years before. Clara Halloway arrived in Bellewood on a day when the air was sharp with wood smoke, and the bells of the chapel rang faintly in the distance.
She came not for the village, but for quiet, for stillness, for a place where her hands could heal something more than her own restless heart. The innkeeper directed her to the old apothecary. It's empty now, but you've the look of someone who'd bring life back to its walls. When Clara stepped through the crooked gate, her boots crunching frost, she stopped short. The rose. Its petals were full and red against the white snow, and a faint sweetness drifted in the cold air. Who would plant a rose for winter? She murmured. A woman who loved too deeply, came a voice. Clara turned. A man stood just beyond the garden fence, his hat in his hands. His name was Elias Wren, Bellewood schoolteacher. "Forgive me," he said. "I didn't mean to startle you. I come here sometimes to see if it still blooms." "Did you know her?" "Althea? Everyone did. She healed half the village and broke more than a few hearts. They say the rose was her way of leaving a mark." Clara knelt by the bush, brushing frost from its leaves. "Or perhaps," she said softly, "it's her way of staying." Elias smiled faintly. "Perhaps." In the days that followed, Clara worked in the apothecary, dusting jars, mixing tinctures, and coaxing dormant herbs back to life. Each afternoon, Elias would pass by the gate. At first, he offered advice on Bellewood's quirks, when the baker's oven was hottest, which neighbor's dog was prone to chasing geese, but then he began lingering longer. "You speak to plants as though they understand," he said one evening. "They do," she replied with a small smile. "They remember kindness." Elias found himself wishing she would speak to him that way too. One morning, Clara woke to find snow falling thick and silent. In the garden, the rose was more vivid than ever. She touched its petals, and a warmth seemed to rise through her fingers. When Elias came to the gate that day, she asked, "Did Althea plant this rose for someone?" For herself, perhaps, or for the man she loved, though he never returned. Clara looked down. Love seems a fragile thing to root a flower in. Elias reached out, brushing her gloved hand with his own, but strong enough to bring it back each winter. Weeks passed, the snow melted, crocuses stirred in the earth, and Clara's heart began to thaw, though she told no one, not even herself. One evening, she found Elias waiting by the garden gate, lantern in hand. "May I come in?" he asked softly. She hesitated, then stepped aside. "Only if you promise not to leave another rose behind when you go." "I'll leave no flowers," he said, "only footprints and perhaps a heart or two." The rose still blooms in winter, though Clara's hands now tend it each spring. Some say it no longer grows for Althea's sorrow, but for Clara's joy. And if you stand by the garden gate on a snowy day, you might catch the faint scent of roses, or see two figures in the frost, their lanterns glowing as they walk the path together.
And that, dear one, is how it went, or how it might have gone. Bellewood keeps its truths tucked close, but if you sit still long enough, the stories rise like smoke from the coals. What happened after? Well, that depends who you ask. Some say they stayed together till their hands went wrinkled and their words grew fewer but sweeter. Some say it was only a season, a flicker of the heart meant to guide them both towards something deeper. And some say they still walk the lantern trail on quiet nights, though no one sees them. But what I know is this: love, when it finds us, whether for a lifetime or a moment, changes the shape of things. It carves out a new room in the heart, even if the door must close later. And when you've been loved, truly, even once, you carry its warmth with you like embers in your pocket. So leave your lantern burning. Keep a space beside the fire, because in Bellewood the story never really ends. It just waits for the next heart ready to hear it. Until next time, stay warm.